All right, folks. Again, that crowd collection assignment, just something I wanted to throw up today and get in front of you, get you to start thinking about it. We can answer more questions about it later this week and begin thinking a little bit more about it as we get into this book. But again, you're choosing that question and addressing it through a collection of bits and pieces, crowds. We're going to move on then to actually getting this book, The Book Thief. On the back shelf or the back counter here, you'll see copies of the books. Why don't you send someone up from your color group to grab enough Book Thief books for everyone in your group, and you can pause the video right here. Now that you've got your book, we want to think about how we're going to be addressing this book and actually taking some notes. Again, we are in circles here already. We already kind of formed some groups. These groups are going to be very helpful throughout the reading of The Book Thief. Again, if you are on one of those tall blue desks in the corner, I'd like you to join one of the other colored groups. So do that. On Moodle, we've got the Literature Circles assignment. That's right here. And in just a minute, someone in your group is going to open up this document, make a copy of it on Google Drive, and then share it with everyone else in your color group, in that 6 or maybe 7 people group, so that you have this document shared with each other. This is going to be where our notes for The Book Thief are going to happen. Let me just read this to you. We've got focus areas, and we're making a schedule for different focus areas. As you read each section of The Book Thief, and really maybe reread it as well, you can take some notes. Each member of your group should be taking notes on one of the following focus areas. Every time that we read, you're going to have a different focus area for your notes. That way you're not doing notes on everything. We're using each other to help each other out and really get a good sense of what this book's all about, get a really good set of thorough notes. You should rotate these through the 10 sections of this book so that everyone focuses on one of the topics probably at least twice throughout the whole book. When you meet as a group, each class, you are going to be responsible for reporting to your group what you found on your topic. So not only will you be taking notes on the document that you've shared right now, you're actually going to be talking about it when you come to class as well. So you're going to really have some ownership of some different focus areas of this book as you read. Your group is relying on you to give them good information that they can then add to their own notes. And again, you're going to have this shared document with one another, so the notes will be on there. So this little chart that we've got here, you see the 10 different sections of The Book Thief. This is the prologue and part 1, which you'll be reading today. Part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and so on all the way through part 10. And the focus areas are colors. We're going to have you focus on colors, figurative language, plot and foreshadowing, characterization, and then 3 to 4 open-ended questions. So, as I fill this out, as I share this document with my group, and as I get everyone on there, you should be filling people in your group's name in on each of these boxes. So, for instance, I might have person A taking colors during the prologue and part 1. Person B is going to be doing figurative language, C, D, and E. And then I might just shift it one. So for part 2, as we get to part 2 of this book, maybe person A is going to be doing figurative language. Person B will be doing plot. Person C is going to be doing characterization. Person D is going to be doing open-ended questions, and then we can go back to colors, can be the next person. And then when we get to part 3, maybe person A starts here with plot and foreshadowing, everyone else has another job, and we should have different jobs. So we're sort of cycling through each of these focus areas. I hope this makes some sense as I'm explaining it to you on this screencast. What probably doesn't make sense yet is if you scroll down, you'll find out more about what each of these focus areas is all about. I'm not going to read these to you just so I don't have to waste any video space, but you can certainly read those for yourself. As you're taking notes on colors, here's what you're focusing on. As you are assigned figurative language, this is what we're looking for. Plot and foreshadowing, this is your task. Characterization, you have a task here. It's really easy to see what you need to take notes on. Open-ended questions. There's so much to talk to within these pages. We need those open-ended questions, so follow the directions for each of these focus area descriptors here. So I'm going to give you some time here to set that up amongst your group. And once you've got this document shared, you have a place to take these notes. So underneath this chart and these descriptors is where you can probably begin with the prologue and part 1. So we'll have you pause the video here, give you a chance to set that up, and then actually you can begin reading the prologue and part 1. I would do that independently here today. You can begin taking notes, decide on what, or just know what you're going to be doing. What are you taking notes on? This book starts out in a place where I think you may be having some questions. You may not quite know what's going on right away. Rest assured, we will be discussing it next class, so do your best with the prologue and part 1. That's going to be through page 80. We'd like you to have that done for next class. Get started.